Good evening, CBC Basketball League fans. Happy Christmas break and welcome to this special edition of CSN. We're coming to you live from CBC High School, where we are about to announce the 2019 CBC Basketball League Team Draft. Now, before we do that, let's talk a little bit about the league. As most of you guys know, this is a 5-team league with each team consisting of freshmen through juniors. There are all levels of skills and abilities in this league. We've got guys who've played here at CBC. We got guys who played in their grade school. We've got guys, this is the first time they're going to be playing competitive basketball. Regardless of all that, teams are going to be coached by CBC faculty and assisted by CBC students. This is an 8-week league. Our regular season is going to consist of each team playing each other one time throughout the season. Week 7 then is our playoff weekend. The top 4 teams are going to make the playoffs. Finally, week 8 is what we call Championship Saturday. This is going to be awesome. Championship Saturday will not only include the championship game, it'll actually start with a 3-point contest at 3 o'clock, followed by a dunk contest at 3:30. Of course, all of this will culminate then in a 4 o'clock championship game. And as you can imagine, this will all be broadcast right here, the home of the CBC Basketball League, CSN. Now that we know about the league, it's time to meet the teams. But before we do that, standing by, we have our first guest. We're so excited to welcome him. He's the voice of CBC Athletics, Mr. Tom Eichwald. Tom, are you there? Now, Tom, you've seen these teams. Tell me your initial thoughts.
Really excited about this, Mr. Brockman. Thanks for having me on. I've taken a look at the teams, and I've been covering basketball for a while now, high school basketball, college basketball. It's been a lot of fun, but I think this league is unique, and I think what it brings is a wealth of experience and new talent as well. You got guys that are going to come out of the woodwork, and you never know who's going to emerge as the star, and I think that's a lot of fun. On the coaching side of things, it's going to be really interesting because you have the experience, the grizzled veteran basketball coach in Coach Ott. Will his coaching prowess be able to match up with the fresh ideas of coaches like Coach Walsh and Seymour and Brockman and some of these guys that are going to bring a very, very new perspective on how basketball should be played in the CBC Basketball League. Really looking forward to being a part of it. It's going to be a lot of fun for the whole CBC community.
Gentlemen, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time to reveal our teams that have been drafted. And the first team that's been drafted is Team Walsh. Now, this team is one of the most experienced teams. It's bolstered by 4 juniors. Team Walsh might have the best 1-2 punch in the post with juniors Sam Wiebert and Jacob Bird. Fellow juniors Cale Lipinski, Ty White, Nick Kellogg are all coming back from a strong CYC season last year. Perhaps the best athlete on this team is sophomore Vernon Jackson. He can score the ball from anywhere. Sophomore sharpshooter Max Hercules has been training for years in the backyard, and he looks to dominate this league the same way he dominates his older brother. Sophomores D'Antoine Ballard and Jerome Logan are going to give Team Walsh some much-needed size. Of course, while freshmen Andrew Felt and Joseph Leiden are going to inject an energy not seen by this league in a long time. This team is coached by Patrick Walsh and is assisted by Coach Miles French. Let's go live now. We have Coach Patrick Walsh. Coach, give us your thoughts on this team.
That's right, Mr. Brockman. Team, boards, and buckets. My squad. We're looking to take this whole thing. I focused on drafting players who are passionate about the game, who are going to come out, play hard every Saturday, and I knew I was going to get the most out of them every time they hit the floor. Drafted guys in kind of 3 general areas. My first group, the most important group, the guys who can do it all. Play inside, can play outside. They're going to grind. They're going to work hard. They're going to get boards. They're going to get buckets. All right, I'm going to start it off with my guy, Cale Lipinski. Nobody impressed me more during the combine than Cale Lipinski. Played tenacious defense, was grunting and growling and getting after it. every play. I had to guard him for a few minutes in the 3-on-3 game, couldn't keep up with him. Caleb Pinsky, D'Antoine Ballard, Max Hercules, and Jacob Bird. That's the core of our group. All right, and then I'm gonna move out to the perimeter. Guys like Joe Lyden, Vernon Jackson, super excited to have him on the team. Ty White and Andrew Felt. They're guards, they play on the perimeter, but they're long, all right? We're gonna look at playing that 2-3 Syracuse zone with long guards, cover a lot of space, close out on jump shots. We're gonna crush these other teams. Sorry to tell you, Mr. Brockman, that's just the way it's gonna be. And then down in the post, the guys that are gonna grab rebounds, they're gonna finish at the rim. Nick Kellogg, Sam Weaver, and Big Jerome Logan. We're coming after you. There's no stopping us. Team boards and buckets. Let's go.
Thanks, Coach. Now, we're moving on to our second team, Team Maris. Team Maris is definitely the youngest team in the league, but this also might be the most talented roster we have. This team will go how juniors Corey Herndon and Kenneth Hamilton go. These two former CBC standouts balled out at the Jamboree, garnering enough attention from Maris to warrant high draft picks on each one. Interestingly enough, Maris also happens to be both these guys' bus drivers. Don't sleep on the young guys, however. Noah Duddy, Ben Kern, and Teo Johnson got handles for days. Baker Maris, Jacob Reed, and Charlie Goodwin all can shoot the ball from deep. Coach Maris also went far and wide to construct his team, drafting exchange student Eric Zhu from China. Eric had 2 massive blocks in the Jamboree, and that brought the house down. A trio of sophomores, Brendan Carroll Forsyth, Tonino Battaglia, and Ansel Smith, who is fresh off a great CYC soccer season, round out this young team. Short on experience, this team is long on talent. I expect to see this team make a run for the #1 seed. The real difference maker, however, could be in the assistant coach, Coach Prince Johnson, who brings a wealth of varsity basketball experience to our basketball league. In any case, let's go live now to Coach Maris. Coach, we've seen your team. Give us your thoughts.
Well, Jim, it's great to be here. It's really exciting to be part of all this. And I've got a great group of guys together, a great team. I'm really excited about the season, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun, and we're going to be really, really competitive. I think it's going to be really exciting to see what these guys can do. We can get out there and we can compete against these other teams and these other coaches, and I'm looking to see what we've got, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully these kids have a great time and get after it.
Great. Thanks, Coach. We're looking forward to seeing you play this season. All right, now it's time to move on. Our third team announced here. It's TMod. TMod is probably one of the most talented leagues top to bottom. They've got size, they've got strength, they've got speed. It's the total package. Leading the way is the two-headed monster of juniors, Devontae Barber and Eric Galloway. Barber is a beast finishing at the rim, and he finished several highlight dunks at the Jamboree. That made him the most sought-after pick in this draft. And look out for Galloway. He can slash and score. This team will count heavily on their sophomores of Manny Hamer, Joe Jacob, and the long and athletic Brendan Good. He had a great night at the Jamboree and is one of the top guys to keep an eye on. The freshmen on this team are going to provide a huge lift for Coach Ott. Guards Nico Chiordana, Brady Din, and Cole Clockey will handle the ball in offensive sets. Aiden Levinson has played at a high level and is going to be counted on to shoot the ball. Miles Burke is strong with the ball, but perhaps he does his best work under the basket. We also have received recent word that Brennan Short is coming off the injured reserve just in time for the start of this season. He has fresh legs and is going to bring a lot of energy. The inside-out game between the bigs and the guards could carry this team to a top seed. Coach Ott has everybody jumping on with him. He has not one, but 2 assistant coaches. Mr. Alex Weaver is going to be trading in his Zamboni for a clipboard, and junior Gabe Kudada, fresh off his coaching debut during the CYC Soccer League, is going to try his hand at basketball. Let's now go to Coach to get his take. Coach Ott, we've seen the teams. We're really excited. Your bigs look good. Tell us what you think. All right, now let's take a look at our fourth team. Team Seymour, coached by Mr. Tim Seymour, our principal of CBC High School. Now, Team Seymour is perhaps the smallest team, but he's got athleticism for days. The lone junior on the team, Christian Majors, is an assassin from long range and will be counted on heavily in this guard-heavy lineup. The scoring will come from the youth movement on this team. The balanced attack brought by sophomores Dylan Burkett, Jake Schaefer, and Broden Masters will cause fits for his opponents. Schaefer and Masters are matchup nightmares for any opposing coach. Drew Hammett, Kevin Hogg, and Andrew Purcell provide energy and intensity that complements Coach Seymour's style of play. Now, you like freshmen? Let's talk freshmen. You all heard about the Fab Five for Michigan. Well, Coach Seymour has his version of the Fab Four. Perhaps the best collection of freshmen in this league, Caden Peer, Kyan Franklin, Haverty Thomas, and Josh Molina are all as talented as they come. They're also fearless. As soon as Peer steps on campus, he is in range. He's a flamethrower, hitting several threes in the Jamboree. Molina is a silky smooth guard with great handles. Franklin will be a load in the middle, and Henry Thomas drops dimes faster than a casino slot machine. Coach Seymour is a man of few words, and so when we caught up with them, he didn't say much. When asked about his team, Coach said, quote, "I like our team. See you guys on the court." Sophomore Ramon Gonzalez will be the assistant coach for Coach Tim Seymour. All right, now moving on to the fifth and final team. And gentlemen, this is the team I'm most excited about. Of course, it's my team. Let's meet Team Brockman. Now, when I picked, I went all in on both veterans and youth. I've got no sophomores in my lineup, and I spent all my early round draft picks on experience. 4 juniors are going to lead my talented roster. Guard Artie McAlpin is lightning in a bottle. He's a blur. He's a matchup problem for anybody in this league. No one can lock him down. This team also has size. The frontline trio of Christian LaFond, Andre Ford, and Christian Little were going to essentially cause every team in the league to pick their poison. You want to match up with our guards? Go ahead and double our guards because my forwards are going to score. You want to double my forwards? That's fine. You decide. My guards are going to score. The remainder of this team then is youth movement that is prototypical of a lineup that you would see for me. Freshman guards Ben Werner, Connor Goggins, and Ryan Rogers are going to give me my typical 3-guard lineup that I like to deploy. Aiden Terrell has had a great jamboree. I loved watching him play. He caused me to use one of my highest draft picks on him. Terrell and McAlpine might be the best backcourt in the entire league. I'd put them up against anybody. Kevin Cooney and Dominic DePriest are both really smart players who have a pass-first mindset, which I just absolutely love about those two. Dominic Parada, though, might be my stud. He was big time. He was sensational at the Jamboree. He's a big man under the boards. I really liked watching him. He's going to be one of our most dangerous guys in the paint. Gentlemen, you heard all the other coaches talk. This is my time to talk. I like my team. I love my team. I see us getting the #1 seed. We've got strength. We've got size. We've got speed. We've got scorers. We've got rebounders. I don't think anybody can match up with this team. I'll be interested to see it, but I look forward to the first week when we get to see what each one of our teams is made of. Gentlemen, that concludes our broadcast for today. I hope you're excited about this league. Keep an eye in your email for all the announcements for practice times over break. You'll be contacted directly by your coaches regarding when they're going to have practices and those sorts of things. So make sure to keep an eye on your email. That's all for my CSN crew, Mr. Gardner, the entire CSN staff. I'm Mr. Brockman. We'll see you guys out there.